Hi, it's this time of the week. We changed tracks. We're now in Monza. I'm still back in the Formula Renault. And well, Monza has, the Temple of Speed. Everybody goes so fast. But basically, what makes Monza so special is one, it's in Italy. Two, it's one of the oldest tracks, the most history there is. But three, you have nothing but straightaways and big braking zones. All the corners are fairly slow. So you end up running cars with very little downforce, which make them very twitchy and very hard to drive, and particularly when you are following someone else, because now the draft is always a big thing, but now you have so little downforce in the car, in the draft you have nothing left, and it's really a little bit edgy. Also, funny enough, it's difficult to get tire temperature and brake temperature in this car because they're light, they brake late, but there is also big brakes in between the braking zones and the straightaway. So here we go. 7th speed on the approach to turn 1. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. The picture. There is a big tower. Such a beautiful, such a phenomenal place. There are the brake markers. We just went by the, what is it, 300? Yes, 300 is the first one. Then we go to 200, it's the first one I ever looked at. And then 150. You'll be braking just before the 100. I'll bring my pedals again, and you'll see my pedals. And I'm on gas, and right here is when I touch the brakes. And you see that the 100-meter board is right there. Effectively, by the time I am on the brakes, I am at the 100. Very easy to get sucked in and brake too late. It's not about braking as late as you possibly can. It's about also carrying the speed into turn 1. The chicane 1 and 2 is all about entry speed in 1, but exit speed in 2. So you actually can use a lot of the curb. You'll see I use a lot of the curb right there. My car, I will shift just for giggles, just because we can. I'm gonna go to the chopper view, and you see how my car is all over the curb. But nothing to hit. It's good. So I'll go back to the cockpit view. You gotta love these tools. Hand speed, hands, and then watch my throttle. Very important. As I go to straight for a split second, I'll go to full throttle right here so that I can lift off the gas as I turn. You see that I'm full throttle right here, and then I get off the gas as I turn. Reloading the front end of the car. It's something that we did a lot in 9A, 9B in Sonoma in RF3 cars. You gotta squat the car down and then lift off the gas to hike it up on the nose again, and that makes a massive difference in these light little cars to really turn. If you're dealing with a big GT, there is only so much you can do. There is so much weight. But when you're dealing with something like a Formula Renault, 1,000-pound car, very low center of gravity, your inputs are very, very critical. And then go. Now this curb you want to touch very little of it, not the sausage. You see, I'll go back to that view, chopper view, to see, and you see that I could have gotten another inch or so to the left. But that's pretty good. Good enough for a 50.7. And then I go back into the, sorry, not TV1, into the cockpit. Right here, view, and watch my throttle. I just went to throttle right here, just past the apex. My hands are still there, but watch how that string theory, which we all talk about. Look at my hands opening up as my throttle is happening. Very gradually, and go full throttle, and that's the only way that car will take that traction. Now I'm going to go back and run it full speed for you to have a quick look at that. Hands go straight and smooth and go. Now we go to the approach of turn 2 through the Curva Grande. Flat, and again, a lot of people like to stay left here, to go left and back. The big GTs, you need to do that. In a lightweight open wheel car, actually when we drove the P3, we didn't need to. Flat on the inside was easier. It's flat and it's shorter. So it doesn't save you much. Maybe a half a tenth, but hey, I'll take a half a tenth any day. Get to the approach, big bump in the braking zone just before the braking zone, just under the bridge there. We had a debate with my co-driver John Sharman. There is no bridge there. Well, there is a bridge. Actually, it was with the engineer. I don't remember, but there is a bridge. And we go to here, and you get in the braking, and you want to go. You see the car jumping right there, and you want to land, and then you brake past the 100. Bring the pedals back again. I'm still on the gas. Let's see, where is it that I get to? Whoop, there is the 100 board, and I go there. So actually, it is right at the 100-meter board in this particular one. It looks like it's further because your eyes are up there. Stay nice and parallel to that curb. A lot of people tend to crab on the way in because they are shifting their eyes too soon to the apex, and they go to the middle of the track, and by the time they turn in, they're in the middle. Particularly critical because you can see the off camber as you turn. It's slightly off camber. Not a whole lot of elevation changes in Monza, but in this particular case there is, and they'll suck you in. You can see, you can't see the track there. Same thing, you can use quite a bit of that curb to the yellow sausage, or the yellow board, and a lot less of the second curb because you're trying to put the power down. See, I'm on the gas. I lift off as I go over, and then I go right back on. Basically, I lift off for the car to jump over the curb easily and go back on. I also upshift to third gear, I believe. Yeah, I did. I don't do it every lap when it's, depending on where we are in the fuel load and tire pressures, I do or I don't. Then the approach to Lesmo 1s and 2. Completely different corners. Lesmo 1 is all about entry speed. So you do a fairly soft braking, downshift the gear, carry the speed in there, and let the speed get scrubbed through the lateral G's. See, I'm full throttle still. I go off, patient, and throttle only now, on the apex out. You know, so carrying a lot of speed through there, but not so much putting the emphasis on the exit speed. Lesmo 2, you want to brake earlier than you think. At the 50s where you want to be turning in, and then getting to that apex. Actually, you turn in past it. Brake at the 50, turn past it, and you want to aim at that apex. And right now, you want to be starting to chase the throttle. I'm not on the throttle yet, but right there, it should be coming on. Boom! Full throttle right away. I'm still apex out, steering in there to maximize that exit speed. Now in the sim it doesn't matter, but there is a couple of really nasty bumps here, particularly under the bridge, and out of a habit I always stay to the left. You know, the guys in the sim will be driving in the middle and the car jumps, doesn't bother them. Trust me, if you were paying for your carbon under tray, you would be doing the line that I am doing now. So out of muscle memory, I do it. You go past the bridge, you still have the bump, and then you go to the right for the braking zone. Well, if you were in a Ligier, if you were in a Norma, you could drive anywhere you wanted in the LMP3 last year. So here, you can brake past the 100, but to be fast, you really don't want to be braking much further past the 100. Again, you can see the elevation change through there, and the big mistake in Ascari is to try to brake as late as you can, where it's really about carrying massive entry speed into the first one, killing it into the second one, and then after that. So I'm still on the gas hard. There's the 100. And just past the 100, which is right here, just past the 100, I'll transition to some brakes. The 50 is way up there. Now I can almost brake at the 50, but that's not the fastest way. If I brake at the 50, I have to brake too hard. I cannot carry the speed into Ascari, and I pay the price. So here, get to that curb, use a lot of that curb. Now, to be able to do that, look at my pedals. Nothing, no stress on the car. Just rolling the speed through there so I can suck the bump nice and easily. I barely touch the gas, and now, yes, I'll go hard on the gas. I probably will level off as I go over the other curve because the car tends to go into oversteer right there. So I'll go partial throttle and then hopefully commit to full throttle for the last one. The goal is to be flat for the third part of Ascari so that we get massive exit speed. And now all the way to the Parabolica. fairly soft braking, 3 gears downshift, you're going from 7th to 4th, and you brake just before the 50. Oh, there you go. There is the 50. There is my brake. Comes in right there. Again, you can go brake at the 50, but that's not going to net you the fastest lap time. This is where you want to be braking. And look, I don't brake very hard. Well, actually, harder than I thought I would. 80% down, and get to that apex early. You need to get to the apex early. Maybe even put a wheel into the groove there, and then from there on you should be able to floor it. If your car is set up properly, from now on you are on the gas. If you're picking up a massive understeer through here, your car is not set up right, or you're not doing it right. And what you can be doing too much is if you add too much steering. Look at where my steering is here. I have about 45 degrees. If you have anything more than 45 degrees in this corner, you're already into a state of understeer. You're gonna make it, but you're gonna scrub speed, overheat the tires, and in a real car you might not make it. So work with your setup so that you can get to that. Run wide, and in a Formula Renault, come back tight. It's shorter. It's no difference. People try to run wide out there to free the car. Doesn't make much of a difference in this car. Stay tighter and get running. Well, there you go. Well, there you go. Very tricky, very fun racetrack. Now, like I always do, I'm going to let one full lap at speed for you to see captured without anything on the screen and without any commentary. So let's go.